What's up, Math 8? Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Math with Mullins. Today we're going to be looking at Lesson 6.1, Writing and Evaluating Powers. We're going to talk about this over 2 days, so today's just day 1. Our main objective today is to be able to write and evaluate expressions using powers. The first thing we want to know is, what does everything mean whenever we see all these terms? A power is a product of common factors. So that just means if I want to take 2 to the third power, the 3 is the power. Okay? The base of a power is the common factor. So this 2 would be the base, and then the exponent of a power indicates the number of times the base is used as a factor. So it can still be considered that 3 up there. That just means I'm going to multiply 2 times 2 times 2, and I'm going to get 8. Okay? So really we could say maybe the power is 8, and the exponent is that 3. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to write each product using exponents. So the first one, if you want to pause these at any time and try them on your own, that'd be helpful. If not, we're going to go and get started right away. The first one I count 4 is my common factor, and that's represented 4 times. This would be 4 to the 4th power. The next one I have -2 in parentheses, and that's happening 3 times. So I want that -2 to be carried throughout. So I'm going to say -2 in parentheses and then to the 3rd power. That is very important. It is not the same thing as this. So if you would write that down, we would count that incorrect. We'll talk about that later on about what that means. And then the last one, I see 3 3s. So that's 3 to the 3rd, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 x's. So x to the 4th. This one we would just have 2 separate bases. Continuing on, let's try a few more of these. The next one I have pi, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is pi to the 6th power. Over here I have 1/4 multiplying by 4 times. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure 1/4 is in parentheses as well, just because I want to make sure the 4 is not just going to the 1, because if I wrote it like this, it would look like 1 would be written 4 times and not just the 4, okay? And then the last one here on this page, I have x to the 3rd and y to the 5th, okay? The next part we're going to evaluate. So evaluating means solving. So the first one has -3 in parentheses to the 3rd power. That means I'm going to take -3 times -3 times -3, okay? That's going to give me 9. 9 times -3 is -27, okay? The next one's a little bit different. Since there's no parentheses around the 3, that negative just hangs out in the front, and we still have 3 3s, okay? The way this is going to work is you're just going to multiply 3 times 3, 9. 9 times 3 is 27, but then you carry the negative to your answer, okay? So notice how I didn't multiply by all -3s. I just had that negative in front, and then once I'm done multiplying my 3s, carried it to the answer. This last one, -3 to the 4th power, should be -3 4 times. I can maybe separate this in 2s. This will give me 9 times 9, which is +81. Okay? We're also going to see a few more of these, so let's take the time here and try this. -5 to the 4th power without parentheses, meaning a negative stays in front, and we'll have 4 of these 5s. So really I'm just doing 5 times 5, and 25 times 25 I believe is 625, and then we just bring down that negative. Okay? Next up we've got a fraction, and that fraction's in parentheses, so that means I need to see that fraction 3 times. So what we could do is take 2 times 2 times 2 on the top, and 3 times 3 times 3 on the bottom. We're going to get 8/27. And then our last one here, again, -1/6 is in parentheses, so I should see -1/6 3 exact times. -1 times -1 times -1 is -1, and then 6 times 6 times 6 is 216. Okay? Next up, we're going to see some more evaluation, but now we've got multiple operations, so we want to think about this as PEMDAS. So we start with parentheses in the first one, no parentheses, but we do have exponents. This will be 25, bring down everything else like you see it. Then I'm going to multiply. 4 times 25 is 100. And then last step, subtracting 2 minus 100, -98. Okay, over here, I'm going to start with my exponents, bring down everything else. 36 divided by 4 would be next. I get 9, and then 5 plus 9 will give me 14. And then next up in the bottom, 2 to the 5th power. That just means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, 5 times. So you could do that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're going to get 32. Bring down everything else. Then I'm going to multiply 32 times 0.5. You get 16. And then last but not least, 9 minus 16 gives me -7. Okay? That's going to conclude our notes for today. Hopefully learning a little bit about powers and exponents helps you solve and evaluate, but also just write them as exponents. And hope to catch you next time when we dig a little bit deeper into what all these means. Have a great day.